has America turned? Because obviously I know you were living in California until quite recently.
Yeah, I mean, I think just like people are generally like sick of them. I think, it's going to get to a point where they're going to have to probably move country. I'm not sure where they would move to next, but you'd sort of get that feeling, right? That whoever is telling them what to do, it's not really going according to plan.
No, so is there a way for them to turn it around?
Um, I don't see like Harry getting back on track. Um, Being married, I don't think he'll ever be accepted back to the UK while he is married. And as far as Meghan, I know it was Thomas Markle, so it was his birthday just now, and obviously
Today, today,
that's
yeah.
so sad that they haven't made up yet. It's it just shows a lot of like her character, I think. So the photos, it looked like they were very, very close when she was younger. And same what she did with her dog. She met Harry and she just cast her whole life away that she had had previously, including all her animals, right, that she abandoned.
Yeah, the dog
So,
just didn't come. The
and for
dog,
me,
the
that's a
dog was a
real
pain.
thing. You can really tell someone's personality in that. Like she's rescued this dog and then just like leaves the dog for Harry. Like, you know,
So
it's not
wrong.
really.
For years, Prince Harry was known as one of the most social members of the royal family. He maintained close friendships that stretched back decades. He spent time with military colleagues, longtime companions, childhood friends, and people who knew him long before he became one of the most recognizable figures in the world. But now, a new claim is reigniting one of the most controversial debates surrounding Harry and Meghan Markle. Lady Victoria Hervey alleges that Meghan is extremely controlling and does not allow Harry to see his friends. The accusation is dramatic. The language is provocative. And as expected, it has triggered strong reactions across social media and royal commentary circles. So, where does this claim come from? What evidence is being discussed? And why does this story continue to generate so much attention years after Harry and Meghan stepped away from royal life? Let's get into it.
I know. I remember speaking to her staff at the time who were like, "We can't believe this. She's
Mm,
not bringing one of the dogs. It's bizarre. It's like she chose her favorite dog to come and the other
uh,
one wasn't able to."
yeah.
I do want to wish Thomas Markle a happy 80th birthday, though. He is a really amazing man. And the thing is, Victoria, he
Mm,
always got such a bad rap in the media because of the way that Meghan Markle painted him as some sort of
right.
loser. It's like he
Yeah.
is an Emmy Award winner. He gave her an incredible life. He was a top sound technician on General Hospital, which is one of the biggest
TV
soap
shows.
operas
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
America. And he got her start in acting by getting her in. It's often who you
Mm.
know in Hollywood.
And
So,
she would have met everybody through him, basically.
yeah,
Like any
100%.
role that she had starting out was because of her father.
100%. I just want to
Yeah.
pick up on something you said, though, because look, I know you're in these circles, right? And you hang out with a lot of these people and a lot of the friends, the close friends of William and Harry. And I was actually at lunch the other day with a former close friend of Harry. And she said to me that all of the friends now have dropped him in the UK. They all think the way that he has acted by not inviting them to places, by turning on them, has been so bad. And I was really shocked by that because I thought, my goodness. And actually, a lot of them are friends with William. They have
Well, they
basically
probably had
chosen
to
William over Harry.
decide. Mm.
Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably quite a lot of them had to pick a side, and probably because of the behavior, you know, of Harry and Meghan, as far as like the book and all of those revelations about the family, um, they are quite close in age, so they would have had a lot of the same friends, and those friends have most likely picked William because Harry's not around. He doesn't make an effort with them. He doesn't, any weddings or big events of supposed close friends and family friends, he hasn't made an effort, and he's sort of living in this bubble, which is this Hollywood bubble, which I know a lot of because I live there, and you're very like insulated over there, and you kind of forget about the world outside that little bubble.
You get
So
the
it's
Californian
sad.
brain.
Yeah, it's sad. It just feels like he still hasn't woken up from this sort of daydream that he's in. And you would have thought he would by now.
The video begins with Lady Victoria Hervey's remarks. And right away, the creator focuses on the strongest part of her statement, the idea that Meghan is controlling. That's a word that immediately changes how viewers interpret everything that follows. Because if someone is described as controlling, every decision, every change, and every relationship suddenly gets viewed through that lens. And that's exactly what the creator wants the audience to consider. The claim isn't simply that Harry sees his friends less often. The claim is that someone else is responsible for that change. And that's a much more serious allegation. It's also one that remains highly debated among royal observers. To support the discussion, the video takes viewers back to Harry's earlier life. We see footage of him spending time with longtime friends, enjoying moments that seem completely natural and relaxed. The creator uses these images to remind viewers that friendships were a significant part of Harry's public and private life. And the contrast is intentional. Because once those images are established, the audience is encouraged to compare them with Harry's current circumstances. The implication is that something has changed, and the video wants viewers to ask why. The discussion then shifts toward Harry's life after leaving the royal family. The creator argues that Harry's world became dramatically different after this transition. Not only geographically, but socially. The people around him changed. And according to the narrative being presented, some of his old relationships may have become less visible as a result. The key question becomes whether that's simply a natural consequence of a major life change or evidence of something more significant.
But what you're saying is that the friends will not accept him while he's still married. But if he were to divorce, they would.
Yeah, I think most people have a problem with her because, you know, she's the one that took him away, right, from his previous life. And his friends will see that as, you know, while she is there, things are not going to change for the better. And I don't think she even allows him to see his friends because she thinks he'll be led astray and he'll get back into his old life and maybe then wake up and realize, what am I doing with Meghan?
That's what I'd heard too, that she's very controlling about the people who he hangs out with.
Mother around. It's like Harry has been taken over, like, you know, by her, but then she's got the mother always around keeping an eye on things. And he obviously doesn't have that. He doesn't have the family members like she does.
The crazy thing to me, and this is when I realised that it was all over, was, you know, Tom Inskip, Skippy, who's one of his best mates and also one of William's mates. He wasn't even invited to the main sort of reception of the wedding. And this was the guy that would often lead Harry astray.
So Meghan probably banned him, right?
Oh, yeah. Without any doubt, because she didn't want those sorts of party animal friends around her. But the point is, your old friends matter. I mean, the most important people in my life over the past year, you know, like when you're going through tough times, are the friends who I was friends with when I was at school, because they're the people who really know me. And Harry's lost all of them, Lady V.
I know, it's bad. Really sad for him.
One of the most interesting sections of the video focuses on reports that Harry has become less connected to certain longtime friends. Over the years, media outlets have occasionally reported that some friendships cooled after his marriage and relocation. The creator presents these stories as supporting evidence. But it's important to recognize that friendships evolve for many reasons. Distance, family responsibilities, career changes, different lifestyles. All of these factors can affect relationships over time. Nevertheless, the video frames these developments as part of a larger pattern. And that pattern is what Lady Victoria Hervey's comments are meant to explain. The focus then shifts directly to Meghan. The creator presents her as a highly influential figure within the relationship, someone who has played a major role in shaping the couple's post-royal direction. Critics often point to this influence as evidence that Meghan has significant control over major decisions. Supporters strongly disagree. They argue that influence and control are not the same thing. They point out that Harry is an adult making his own choices. And they reject the suggestion that Meghan is responsible for every change that has occurred in his life. This disagreement is one of the biggest reasons stories like this become so controversial, because different audiences interpret the exact same events in completely different ways.
There's all of this theory going around that Harry and Meghan are for some reason trying to hide Archie and Lilibet away from the world. What's your take on that? Do you sign up to any of these growing theories around whether Meghan actually gave birth to them?
I was going to mention that. So she did give birth apparently to the first one, but the second one, Archie. The reason why there was a home birth is because it was a surrogate. Now, I don't know if this is true or speculation, but I have read it from anonymous people, and I've heard that for a couple of years, so I'm not sure if it's true or not, but there is talk that Lilibet was a surrogate.
And do you think it's fair enough?
Apparently, if you were born as through a surrogacy, you cannot be heir to a throne.
Correct.
Do you know that?
Correct.
Yeah. And with Archie, I'm not sure. There was even talk with Archie that she was wearing the fake belly. There was a photo I remember a while ago where it looked like the belly slipped. Do you remember that? So quite possibly, and this would be like a major thing, obviously.
Well, it's just the mystery around it that I don't understand, because remember, I was covering very closely the birth of Archie, and it was absolutely bizarre because they didn't use the hospital where usual royal births happen. And then, do you remember they announced that she had gone into labor, when in fact we learned later that the baby had already been born. So right from the start, there was a whole load of weirdness, and the pregnancy was shrouded in mystery. Now, Lady Colin Campbell is very strong on this, because she says she's asked Buckingham Palace just to clarify and just to say for sure that the babies were born via Meghan's body, and then there's no issue, and then we can all move on.
I don't think Buckingham Palace would know necessarily.
I don't think that. No.
I don't think they would know. I think it was kept as such a secret, if it is true. That I don't even think that Buckingham Palace would be told.
The video also touches on Harry's own public statements. Over the years, Harry has spoken openly about mental health, personal growth, breaking away from certain aspects of his past, and creating a life that better reflects his values. Supporters of the Sussexes often argue that these statements demonstrate Harry's independence. They believe he has actively chosen the path he's on today. From this perspective, changes in friendships or social circles are not signs of control. They're simply part of building a new life. And that's why the debate remains so difficult to resolve, because both sides are often looking at the same facts through completely different lenses.
And presumably the reason to go to such great lengths, and obviously we're being clear, this is a theory, we don't know for sure, it's just something that has been discussed, but the reason behind it would be presumably to keep the children in the line of succession.
Right, of course. Which, to be honest, they shouldn't be in the line of succession anyway, because they're being brought up in America. There's sort of no real connection. You can't have kids with American accents suddenly, being in the line of successions. I don't see how that actually works.
Well, that's what I think is bizarre. But I've done loads of research on this, Lady V, and people will find this insane. But there is a genuine concern within the royal family that Harry and Meghan still believe that there is the possibility of them one day taking the throne. And so presumably that's the reason why they want to keep Archie and Lilibet in the line of succession.
Right. So I think to just cut that whole thing on the head right now, I think the kids should be taken out of the line of succession immediately.
But the problem is that would require an act of parliament, and King Charles would have to ask for that. I mean, genuinely, I think it's possible that William will. I mean, his anger, this, but his anger over all of this is like volcanic, whereas Charles wants to do the whole let's try and sort this out thing.
Right. But yeah, that's been a sort of a question I've had for a while. Is I think it would be actually safer for William's children as well for them to be taken out of the line of succession. The royal family have had a lot of issues recently, and it does make one think, like, what is going on in that family? Why are they all sick? What is going on, right? Is this all happening for another reason? Just a couple of updates on the Epstein story.
Oh, yes. What's the
So
latest?
it is, so some of the things I can discuss. A lot is going on with him right now that we're gonna probably get him on here soon. But the FBI have properly disclosed that they never actually received a hard copy of the photo.
So
The
this is,
initial,
to clarify, so this is the photo with
this
Ghislaine,
is the
Andrew,
fake
and Virginia
photo.
Giuffre.
Yeah, so David Boyes' side always tried to say that there was a hard copy. The FBI are going to publicly come out and say this soon because they have an ongoing lawsuit right now with Maria Farmer and some of the others. But there was never a hard copy of the photo.
Wow.
Never received. The initial photo was apparently emailed to them from Virginia's lawyers. They never had a hard copy. I wish we did know this, but I wish they could have said this, many years ago. It would have been very helpful.
Well, it
But
would have
yeah,
changed the narrative.
there's going to be a lot of news on that side, about what's going on with that and Virginia. So
Well, you know where to come first to break
yeah,
this
of
news.
course. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the girls, to be honest, like when Trump wins, he's going to win this election, they are going to be running scared because they know that obviously they tried to accuse him of things. He's going to go after them and he's going to really like open this case up, I think, properly, and be able to get loads of indictments out. And so, yeah, I think the girls should be quite scared about
We
getting
are in
arrested.
for an absolutely fascinating few months,
Yeah.
and I
And
know that
also,
Prince Andrew is still hopeful
well,
that
you know what,
the
as
public will
well.
turn and that he will be able to clear his name.
Well, from the stuff we have, he can absolutely clear his name. I can't say what the evidence is right now, but it's like you can't deny that it is what it is, right? But I think having Trump in office, he will clear out, the bad guys in the FBI and CIA and stuff, and get good people in those positions that'll actually like make a difference and go after the right people.
Some viewers agree with Lady Victoria Hervey. They believe Harry appears increasingly isolated from people who were once central to his life. They see Meghan's influence as a major factor. Others reject the claim entirely. They argue there's no evidence that Meghan prevents Harry from seeing friends. They believe the accusation relies heavily on speculation rather than facts. And as the creator presents these opposing views, one thing becomes clear. This story isn't really about one comment. It's about a larger debate that has followed Harry and Meghan for years. As the video approaches its conclusion, the discussion expands beyond friendships. It becomes a conversation about identity, about change, about loyalty. The creator uses Lady Victoria Hervey's comments to revisit a question that has been asked repeatedly since Harry left the monarchy. How much has Harry changed? And what factors contributed to that transformation? The video doesn't provide definitive answers. Instead, it leaves viewers with competing interpretations. One side sees influence, the other sees personal choice. And the debate continues because neither explanation can be proven conclusively from the outside. But one thing is certain. Years after stepping away from royal life, Prince Harry's personal relationships remain a source of endless fascination for audiences around the world. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Prince Harry's friendships have naturally changed over time, or do you believe outside influences have played a significant role? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal family analysis, celebrity reactions, and in-depth commentary. Subscribe for more royal breakdowns bell.